Hi, I'm Donna. I'm a reseller of all the things on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. And today I have for you a Flipped Friday, what sold on those platforms through May 9th through the 15th. So sales were a little slower this week than they were last week, but I still had, oh, I did okay. And I had a large Poshmark sale I had on. I had a large sale on Poshmark. It was a bundle. So that was nice. So when we get to that one, I'll tell you about that one. First up, we're going to start with eBay. This top was in a recent haul video. Women's 1X watercolor top, 3/4 sleeve, boho, embroidered neckline, and lightweight. I listed that in April and it sold in May. It was the end of April when it was listed. That was a bins pickup. My cost of goods was 51 cents and it sold on offer for $15. I don't know if I sent the offer or if someone sent me the offer, but that's was on an offer. Up next is a Rock'em Sock'em Robots Replacement Part Red Controller Rock'em Sock'em. I don't generally use the same words twice, but I did on this one. My husband found this one at the bottom of the bins. My cost of goods was 28 cents. It sold for $6. It was a 40% off sale. That was a rewrite in September. And on eBay, I wanted to mention I don't pay for shipping. The only time I pay for shipping is when I mess up on weighing the package or how much I think it's going to weigh, or when I give a shipping discount on Poshmark. So I think they paid like $5 or $6 to ship it. So that was pretty decent, and or it was okay. This I only picked up because I was at the bins and it was new with tags. I don't list anything new, even if it has its tags. I mean, if it's sealed in the box and there's no damage in the box, I probably will. But if something's been laying around in someone's closet, I picked it up out of the bins, it's not new. But this is a women's 2X tank top uh, cami self bra, blue ribbed adjustable strap, Joy Spun. Joy Spun, I believe, I discovered was a Walmart brand. I've never seen that brand before out in the wild to look up or comp. I just grabbed it. I didn't look it up. I just grabbed it. It weighed nothing. It cost me 40 cents and it sold on an offer for $7. That was listed in April and sold. It was listed, it's the same haul as that top, so at the end of April. These Michael Kors size 7 tall over the knee, OTK is over the knee, leather boots, Bryce zipped stretch knit black logo. I love the exposed zipper. These boots are really nice. I thought about keeping them because they fit and they were really nice. I almost thought about keeping them. So, well, anyway, they were a bins pickup. My cost by weight was $2.47. They sold for $25 plus shipping. They were written in May and they sold in May. So I probably could have held out. This I bought a whole bag of Burt's Bees. I think it was all Burt's Bees lipsticks at the good the Goodwill. I think I was there on Dollar Day forever ago, like a year or two ago. And I listed them, I made little lots, and they did well. But I had this one left, and I have one more left. I had this forever. Burt's Bees lipstick, double rose, 513, pack of three. I don't know why I wrote pack of three. It's a lot of three, but that's how I wrote it. Maybe I piggybacked off someone else's listing. My average cost of goods that day was $2.33. That's back when I used to do the average cost. They sold for $9.50 on sale. They were a rewrite in February. So, I had it forever. I rewrote it and then it sold, 2 months later. Up next is a fresh produce size medium gauzy white lightweight V-neck long sleeve beachy top, but I just wrote beach. I think I ran out of characters. That was a recent bins pickup. $0.84 and it sold for $10. I probably could have held out for a couple more dollars, but when I have white things, I get nervous, and the faster they sell, the better. That was written in April and sold in May. These I've had for a little bit. They were a rewrite in October. I'm not sure when I picked them up. It was before I started keeping track of all of this stuff. I haven't had them a year though, but I've had them for a while. Maybe a year. Maybe a year. Bob's for Bob's for Cats Fun Print Flat Size 7 Skechers Memory Foam Slip On, and then I put the number in there. These were super cute. I loved the print. They were so adorable. I mean, they're my size and I do love cats, but I would never wear them. So you can see here there's where. And then I always take a picture of the tag. My average cost of goods, no, my cost of goods was $1.26. They were bins pickup. I rewrote them in October and they sold in May for $15.60. So sometimes if I'm running a sale, people will send me offers, and sometimes just to get things going a little faster, I will send a 10% offer, maybe 15 or depending on what it is and how long I've had it. What happened? These are a recent pickup from the bins. Salomon men's size 11 outdoor Conta grip hiking trail running mesh green black shoes. These were in very good condition, except for they have a little bit of wear on the bottom, and I'm pretty sure I took a picture of it. Yes, I hope I did. When I do shoes, I try to do every angle. There was some there. Did I not take a picture of the bottoms? Huh. Or maybe I got them confused with something else. Oh, here's the bottoms. I normally would have taken a close-up. Huh. You can see it, but I'm sure I disclosed it in the listing. I'm going to double check. Dingy soles, greasing and minor cracking on upper. And I didn't write about the soles, so we'll find out. I mean, I'm sure it's delivered by now. So, well, anyway, $2.60, if I didn't say, was my cost of goods. They sold for $25 on Poshmark, and they were written in April. They were a recent pickup. I left this like this so you guys could see. This is the bundle sale. This one's missing a SKU. It was probably written around the same time as the magnetic toys. So these came from different places, and I did not take the time to list where I got each one, but my and how much I paid for each one. I have this bundle cost me $4.93, and these were listed at separate times: January, October, and this is more recent. These I just thought were cute. I'll show you the pictures. They're like Harry Potter. They were like camper string lights. The lights didn't work, but I pulled them off to show. So we have to sell. They weren't plastic. They were rubber. They weren't old. Melissa and Doug brand wooden band instruments, and then it's the lot. I feel like that came from the red, white, and blue. And then these are a bins pickup. I found a bunch of puppets. There was like nurses, football players. There was I think ones that looked like teachers. There was a whole lot of them. They were all the Lillian Vernon, or is that how you pronounce that? Lillian Vernon hand puppets. So these were the last two lots that I had. So they got these, and they got these. I've had these for a while. and they got these. You can see that it's all rubber, and I think that they were marked with something on the bottom, if I can remember. Maybe not. I took a measurement of the hole just in case. Maybe they weren't. But they were Harry Potter, and I thought they were pretty cool. I used to read the Harry Potter books to my kids until they outgrew that. Thank God, because they're difficult books to read, like aloud. So that bundle cost me $4.93, sold for $50, and my Poshmark fee was 10. And that's what again was a bins pickup. So those were my asking prices, and my cost is so low. $50 was a nice return. This is now Mercari. I've had this for a while. It was a rewrite in September. I either sent out an offer or someone sent me an offer. It is a women's top, and I did not uppercase the T. Well, anyway, women's top, large floral print, bright yellow square neck, flowy boho, short sleeve. I probably would have written that differently if I was paying attention when I was doing the rewrite. I probably just ended it and just sent it live and didn't read it. So anyway, if I didn't say 69 cents, sold for $9.34. I rewrote that in September. And this, I used to watch. I was a new reseller, I know he's doing real good now, but I don't watch him because he sells a lot of stuff that I know nothing about and have little to zero interest in. Well, anyway, I picked this up a long time ago. If I remember his name, I'll put it down on the screen. And he would sell a lot of golf clubs, a lot of like craftsman's tools. It was really knowledgeable. He really knew his stuff, and he was talking about golf clubs. And I'm like, I'm never going to sell a golf club, but we were at the bins, and I found some golf club covers, and I'm like, I can do that. And I picked some up. They took a while to sell. This one took forever. It was a very long time ago. My cost of goods I approximated 50 cents, and his sold for $7.50. I was happy to see it go. If I find, okay. Well, anyway, I just lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, if I find like Disney ones or something like that's unique or special, I'll probably pick them up, but I probably won't pick up a random plain Jane golf club like cover like that again. So, well, anyway, up next, I'm reading without switching tabs. So here we are. I found from the bins. They had a few nicks and dings. They are Easter egg candles, decorative small spring is how I wrote it. Okay. Well, anyway, they were 38 cents. They sold for $15. I was asking for 20. I think this one, yeah, I picked them up because they said West Germany. This one had nothing. They were kind of cute. I mean, it's not my thing, but someone's thing. Let's see if I can find a better picture. Like they have the little flower details on them, and they're unburned. I thought they were cute, but they're not my thing. And West Germany is one reason why I picked them up. They were cute, and they weighed nothing, so that's why I got those. And up next, I have a plush. This little guy, he's so stinking cute. Like he's a little right, what kind of is like a schnauzer dog. And we're not going through. But I really did like this dog. It's super cute. So, well, anyway, he is Aurora, if I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I apologize. World retired 11-inch Schnauzer dog plush soft cuddly puppy realistic stuffed. He sold for $11.70, and he's a bins pickup, and my cost of goods is 56 cents. I don't know when I wrote this. I'm sure it wasn't a rewrite, so it had to have been rather recent. I didn't put that information in there, so maybe a month or two. And I had a Depop sale. They made me an offer. I accepted. I did nothing. I didn't delist or anything because Depop, I never get, like, the transactions are almost never finalized. Like, I send offers, people send me offers, they accept, I accept, but I never get paid. So I just thought that this would be the same. And Depop doesn't have the title, but Coach Women's Joss Fashion Sneakers Shoes Signature Logo Leather, because they did have leather details on over the toes and on the back. Size 8.5. Okay, and they were red, white, and blue pickup, and this is probably, I think this is an offer I might have sent. I'm not quite positive. Well, anyway, $28.70. They were written in February, and they sold in May, so not too bad. I'm going to maybe start to add more detail to my what sold, because I'm like, well, how much does anyone want to know? Like, how much I made for the week? I know some resellers share that. If I'm telling you what I picked it up for and what it sold for, you can kind of ballpark the shipping, because I don't sell anything too heavy. You could ballpark that. I don't know if I'm comfortable giving my exact, like, numbers, because sometimes they're not so good and sometimes they are good. So, but this listing this week, my cost for everything that's sold was $22.75. And if my math is correct, I only did it once. And I did not add up what I collected in shipping. On eBay, you get a shipping discount, so I generally make $1 or less, maybe a little more, but never like $2 or anything, on shipping. But it sold without the shipping for $235. It's not a great week. I mean, there was really no. My Poshmark bundle was the most fantastic thing, and I think it was like 4 or 5 items. So yeah, I might start adding. Just put it down in the comments if you want me to tally up my numbers, how much it cost me, minus and the shipping, and minus my fees and whatnot. And I'll think about adding that. I mean, I'm not really interested in how much someone makes in a week. I am more interested in what's selling well, what's selling fast, and learning about different brands and styles of brands and keywords. That is what I'm interested in. You guys let me know what you're interested in, and I will see if I can work with that, like, add it into some of my videos. So that is it for this week's videos. This week's Flipped Friday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. I'm doing Flip Fridays every Friday. I'm going to launch them around 6 o'clock. So if you want a notification, hit the notification bell. And, check out some of my other content. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.